this work session, regular meeting of the Township Council, and the last Slipper Gene meeting, hopefully for quite some time, hopefully forever, is called to order. Madam Clerk.
In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this work session, regular meeting of the Franklin Township Council was made by the posting on the bulletin board in the municipal building, posted on the township website, and electronically transmitted to the officially designated newspaper, indicating that this work session regular meeting will take place via WebEx at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022.
Thank you. We could all have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Councilwoman Udine, if you could do the invocation.
Yes. Let us take the few moments of silence to each seek in our own way whatever sources of inspiration will grant us the strength and power in our thoughts and decisions to be for the benefit of all people at all times. Amen.
Amen. I'm trying to bring up the participants list. Okay, here we go. It is now time for roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Barrison?
Here.
Councilwoman Francois?
Here.
Mayor Kramer?
Here.
Councilman Onijaka?
Here.
Councilmember Potosnik?
Present.
Deputy Mayor Pruitt?
Here.
Councilwoman Udine?
Here.
Councilman Vasanella? And Councilman Wright.
Thank you. There are no commendations and proclamations. We are now on to public discussion. Do I have a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of opening to the public, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion is carried. We're now opening public session where someone may speak about anything with regard to government. There'll be 3 minutes allotted, no yielding of time. People may only come up once, and please state your name and address. Mr. McQueen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Anybody from the public wishing to speak at this time, we ask that you use the chat function, raise hand feature, or *3 from your telephone. Stan, you are unmuted.
Good evening. This is Stanislav Jarac, 22 Heather Drive. I'm a member and founder of Central Jersey Electric Auto Association. Our organization is one of the many chapters, and National Electric Vehicle Association was founded in 1967 with the mission of advocating for electric vehicles to accelerate the adoption. Why am I saying it? I was watching your session on budget on March 7th, and I was pleased how much attention you have given to electric vehicles and the discussion about whether you should buy any more electric vehicles, how much does it cost, etc. So thank you for that. I have some question and I have comment. Regarding the Electric Auto Association, we have lots of collaboration. We have collaboration with transportation management agencies such as RideWise, with Sustainable Jersey. We deliver presentations. We organize EV shows. Our first EV show in Franklin was in 2016, and we were doing it almost every year until pandemic. We typically do not provide consulting to towns, but I would be very happy, more than happy, if the Franklin is interested for Central Jersey Electric Auto Association to do any consulting. Why am I saying it? Because, and based on the conversation that I've heard from the budget session, there are several things that the township can do differently, speaking of electrification. For example, there is lots of data that the township can leverage from the existing fleet of Chevy bought EVs. Based on publicly based on publicly available data, those vehicles are heavily underused, even though their usage has increased last year in November. For example, in May, in average, all the municipal vehicles, the EVs that were bound in municipal complex, they were driven on average 2.5 miles a day. 2.5 miles a day. I'm sorry. And the best day, the best month was December, when it was about 25 miles. There is for the police vehicles, there is available on state list Ford Escape plug-in hybrid, which has 37 miles in electric mode and 40 mpg in a gasoline mode, which is much more than the 27 mpg for the Ford Explorers. And I can talk more and more. Sorry for exceeding 3-minute limit.
You actually have 5 seconds left.
Is that so? I thought I was interrupted. Oh.
No, I was telling you you had 45 seconds left.
Okay, yeah. And the Malibus,
okay.
I can also make another recommendation, but okay.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Anybody from the public wishing to speak, please use the chat function, raise hand feature, or *3 from your telephone. Stan, if you could lower your hand by the same option, that would be appreciated.
I don't see anyone else.
I do not either, Mr. Mayor.
Seeing no one coming forward, Mayor, I'll motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded, still no one else. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Motion is carried. Public session is closed. Time for council comments. Councilman Onijaka, you may go first.
Okay, Mayor. I'm happy that we have finally set a roadmap that will resolve the problem we have in Magnolia Street. I also use this opportunity to thank all that were present and participated in setting this goal and this roadmap. I also want to thank the neighbors for their cooperation and their conversations with us. That was very, very helpful. As the ward councilman for this area, it has not been easy for me when we talk about Magnolia issue. But now I am happy we have set a goal for conclusion in terms of resolving the problems. Mayor, and I also thank you, especially, and the township manager for the part and the role you people played yesterday. I thank everybody that was present. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Wright.
Mr. Mayor, I only have one item, and it's a real big item. In June, on the 18th, we're going to be celebrating June 19th here in Franklin Township. And we're going to celebrate it with the parade. Neiman Williams Park. And we want you to be in on the parade. We want you to be a part of this historic moment. So you do is, if you're a band, if you're a high school cheerleading group, if you're like Jimmy's son, I believe, is on the Boy Scouts. I want everybody and anybody who wants to be in a parade to come on down and join us. I'm going to say that it's going to be fun. When we get to Neiman Williams Park, we're going to have fun, games of chance, vendors, music, pretty much a parade. Now, I'm going to give you an email address, and I want you to send your email saying, you know what, Carl, you have a great idea. I have an organization. I want to be in your parade. And that email address is S as in Sam, C as in Charlie, D as in dog, C as in Charlie, Black, BLACK, caucus, CAUCUS, all one word, at gmail.com. Again, that email address is S as in Sam, C as in Charlie, D as in dog, C as in Charlie, Black, caucus, all one word, at gmail.com. Now, we're looking to have, like I said, in the parade, we're looking for people to come out and hang out with us as we do our parade route. More info will be coming within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Detailed layout, how you can join up. Send us an email. We'll fill it out, send it back to you. We have floats that we're looking to do. So if you want to purchase a float, you can always come out and hang out with us. I'm more sure Crystal Pruitt, our famous councilwoman at large, she'd love to have you. But that's where we're at right now. So, Mr. Mayor, that's it as far as comments that I have today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Councilman Vasanella.
Thank you, Mayor. And I guess after Councilman Wright, that was a good lead into Hamilton Street. We had a Hamilton meeting, and this event, along with a lot of other items, were talked about, and it sounds like something that can really work well to engage the Hamilton corridor and community, but of course all of Franklin. So I look forward to that parade / party that Carl has in the works. We had the Hamilton meeting, went over all the usual stuff. A couple things that hopefully we'll start to see the benefits of, or the results of the hard work later this year. We have a ongoing program with our treescape and our tree planting, and we are looking to we're basically looking to make decisions in the next few months with the assistance of the Shade Tree Commission, which has been very helpful in the process, to decide what we're planting and basically try to cover Hamilton Street from top to bottom. There will be some gaps because certain developers and others that are doing work will do their own planting, but that is in the process. The best time for planting is in the early fall, late summer, early fall. So the actual won't actually see the plantings till then, but it is in the works. We also have banners, the seasonal banners to put up. Years ago, we used to have them. They look wonderful, and over the years they got tattered, and for other reasons, issues with placement and tree branches and whatnot, we suspended the program, but we are on track to get them up, and possibly for the spring to really give that extra touch to Hamilton Street, to make it not only inviting, but aesthetically in line with other Main Street type of areas you see in Central Jersey. The Shade Tree Commission also had a meeting, and the project that on Hamilton, along with many other things, were discussed. Two things I just want to point out. Arbor Day, I don't know if it's exactly April 30th or that's the day that they're planning an event, but there'll be a event, as there is almost every year. I don't know about during COVID, but Arbor Day is basically celebration of trees and tree planting and the value of trees. They're also working on what's called a should not plant list, and that's basically a list of trees that for various reasons are highly recommended you don't plant. I don't think legally you can't plant them, but obviously you would not want to plant something that for various reasons it's not practical and sustainable in Franklin. So they will be, they're fine tuning that list, and as part of the Arbor Day, hopefully that will get out to the public, so people that do planting in the spring and in the future will benefit by that list. A lot of hard work the Shade Tree Commission has done over the years, and with COVID, obviously along with many other events and these groups working with the public and having events have been postponed with COVID, but hopefully you'll see a lot coming down the road from the Shade Tree Commission. And keep in mind, April 30th for Arbor Day. We had a public safety meeting. I believe Deputy Mayor Pruitt will be giving a readout on a few items there. And I believe that's it. We have a land use committee meeting coming up. We have economic development this week, and we'll be reporting on that at our next council meeting in person on Demont Lane. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Vasanella. Councilmember Ed Potasnik.
Thank you, Mayor. Two quick things. One announcement for my fellow council colleagues. The school board folks, President LaCourte in particular, have asked for volunteers to help the Booster Club to do concession sales for a flag football tournament on April 2nd and 3rd. Folks are expecting about 1,000 people to attend each day, and they're looking for volunteers to work the booth. Sign-up sheet Marissa Gallagher has floating around that I can share for time slots. This money is used, the concession stand, to support the athletic programs at the school. And then the other announcement is, I think I have the date right, that it's around the corner, but there's a stream cleanup, I believe on April 9th, over in Neiman Williams Park with the Lower Raritan Partnership. And I just wanted to flag that for folks, so that is also around the corner, to come out and help with that. And that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilperson. Councilwoman Kimberly Francois.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. He's a council person. I'm a councilwoman.
People ask for what they want to be called, and that's what I call them.
Oh, I see. Okay, I understand how that works. Good evening, everybody. I just want to report on a job fair that we had on Saturday, March 19th, that happened from 1 to 3 p.m. over at the Youth Center. We had that job fair, and the Parks and Recreation staff hosted interviews for seasonal employment for our summer camps, for outdoor swimming, and our senior 55+ programs. So we had over 25 candidates attend, and we had some really good candidates there. We also accepted applications for part-time positions for at the Youth Center that are still open. And during the job fair, we interviewed a few youth for our counselor in training program. These were young candidates that were entering grades 9 and 10. And this is we have a counselor in training program, which is a leadership opportunity for the youth. Even though they don't get paid, it's like an internship. So we had a really nice job fair on Saturday. And also the Township website shows a link for opportunities that for other positions that people can apply for in other Township departments. So if you're looking for a job, you can also, as an adult, you can also go on the Township website and apply. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Ambarrison.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a short report today. On 16th March, there was a planning board meeting. There was a presentation by a group of folks representing 110 to 130 Belmont Drive. They are reconfiguring that land to build a 150,000 square foot warehouse and leaving the 50,000 square foot office building intact. They're going to reduce the parking from 202 to 170, and they're also going to gain some pervious surface because of the way that the whole area is going to be rebuilt. I think the members felt it was within reason. Very minor variances were requested, and the planning board approved that application. Other than that, I had celebrated Holi with the Watteldam Temple on Demat and Amble Road. Holi is an Indian festival where symbolically colors are sprayed on each other to celebrate friendship and I guess camaraderie. So Councilwoman Udine also attended the event. It was quite nice to see a lot of people gathering after the lockdown, more than 2 years. It was really a good event, and more events, I'm sure, are in the horizon to celebrate. More importantly, I think I made contact with the Ukraine Church, Father Vasil Shak. We spoke about the immense trouble and the difficulties that the Ukrainian people are facing in their country. I know we have a good number of Ukrainian population in our town, so I asked him how we could help, and I think his request was that they had enough stuff in terms of clothes and other materials. The church's warehouses are full. So he requested if we could mobilize some cash donations for the church to be transferred to Ukraine. So thanks to the township manager, we were able to get out a Nixel alert and the website update publicizing their need. So my request to all of us and all of you and the township is to please open up your heart and wallet and do what you can to help alleviate the situation in Ukraine. Other than that, April 24th, the 2D Franklin event is coming. This year it's going to be definitely happening, in-person event. So I'm a big supporter of food bank activities, as you know. I'm sponsoring the 10-mile ride. So you will see me at that mark on April 24th. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Udine.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have two things to report. So on the 10th of March, we had a fire prevention board meeting. Nothing major to report there. It was business as usual. And then the second thing was what Councilman Ram mentioned about the whole event. I was at VDNJ last Saturday, and we celebrated with them the whole event, which was pretty fun to do. I think this was one of the first events, I think, outdoor where people were spraying colors and having a little bit much fun, almost seemed a little bit of normalcy post-pandemic. So it was nice to see family gatherings in the temple. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Crystal Pruitt.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have too much to report. Obviously, happy Holi for those who celebrate. I was unable to make it, but I saw the pictures and it looked like great fun. I had a series of meetings, some of which were reported out by my colleagues. I did want to report out that we did have a public safety meeting this evening. Had several discussions related to, public safety. But I did want to report out there are a couple of events coming down that folks should be aware of. I did want to flag that the Citizens Academy starts tomorrow. There's still availability if anyone is interested in participating in the Adult Academy or Adult Citizens Academy. You may have seen flyers about this on social media, specifically FTPD social media, but the mobile MVC vehicle is coming to Franklin. That is occurring on the 31st of this month. If you're interested in availing yourself of those services, you're going to need to pre-register. The link to pre-register should be on the informational flyers that are being put out by FTPD, and I believe it probably pops up on our Franklin Township website. The township manager can correct me if I am incorrect in that statement. There will be a food drive happening at the CRB. That will be happening on the 6th of April. And I also wanted to report out also at the CRB on the 9th is an event referred to as Bunny Palooza. So it's a spring event for children. Seems like, you know, a lot of egg dyeing and a lot of fun things like that. So those are just the highlights. There is a senior advisory meeting later this week, but besides that, that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. For my report, COVID is certainly dying down. We don't know where it's going to go exactly. The Omicron second variant, BA2, is on the rise. The manager sent me an article today saying it's now just over 50%. It is more contagious, though it doesn't seem to be more virulent, fortunately. I just want people to know I still wear a mask in public, especially when I'm indoors, and I recommend that for everyone. The average number of cases per week or daily cases averaged over a week is down to 5. We haven't been that low in quite some time. And the RT is down to 0.7. So everyone's doing a good job, but keep up the vigilance. That's all I have, Mr. Manager, your report. You're muted, sir.
Thank you. So see that all of us are prone to it from time to time. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to further the discussion on the stream cleanup that Councilmember Potosnik brought up, the stream cleanup this year will be, in fact, on April 9th. It will be on the mile run at Hamilton Street in conjunction with the Lower Raritan Watershed and the City of New Brunswick. We will have information posted on our website if you are interested in lending a hand. We will provide you with gloves in a bag, and you will provide us with a strong back to remove the garbage from the Mile Run Brook, which forms the border between the City of New Brunswick and the Township of Franklin. A couple quick announcements on some issues that I think one in which Councilwoman Francois touched on briefly. While we were certainly recruiting CITs, counselors in training at the youth center at the last job fair, we are also now accepting applications online through our website for any of the kids who are interested in being a Franklin Recreation Summer CIT at our summer camp programs. The link is on the homepage of our website. Also, the summer camp registration opens. What's today? Today is the 22nd of March, and it opened yesterday, so the 21st of March. And that is our summer camp program between, it'll be run from June 27th to August 5th. Registration is first come, first served. So if you're interested, I encourage you to get your child registered early. It is open to Franklin Township residents or children attending school here in Franklin Township. And Mr. Mayor, that's all I have to report this evening.
Thank you. We have no council discussion items. No minutes were submitted. We are on to the approval of the warrants in the amount of $2,145,367.19 on March 22nd, 2022. And they are presented to the Township Council for payment. Do we have a motion on the warrants?
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Anyone want to pull a warrant or ask something? Ask a question about an item? Madam Clerk.
Councilman Embarrasson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Onijaka,
Yes.
Councilmember Potosnik,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pruitt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Udine,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
It passes. We will pay our bills. Item number 12, 2022 Community Development Block Grant. We have an opening for a presentation of applications. Anyone who wishes to present their application can speak, or Ms. Mitchell, would you like to handle this? You're muted, ma'am. Ms. Mitchell, you're muted.
All right. Before the applicants speak, I just want to briefly present to the public the background for the Community Development Block Grant Program. The Township of Franklin qualifies for the program from the Community Development Block Grant Funds as a entitlement community. We have a population in excess of $50,000, and therefore the federal government has seen fit to award to communities and cities across the country annually funds to assist with providing to the low and moderate income residents of those towns, cities, and communities. Franklin last year received $271,864. We have not yet received our final determination for this year. However, we are required by statute to begin this process of soliciting and reviewing applications for the 2022 cycle. But our program year begins September 1st, 2022, and it ends August 31st, 2023. And those funds that are received can be used for a number of things, to assist in the acquisition of real property, for relocation and demolition, for rehabilitation of residential and non-residential structures, for construction of public facilities and improvements. 15% can be awarded to public service activities. And we can also assist profit-motivated businesses to carry out economic development and job creation retention activities. All eligible applicants must qualify as a New Jersey-based nonprofit organization and also have their 501c3 status from the IRS. The applications will be reviewed based on the following qualifications: eligibility of the activity for Cdbg, compliance with the Cdbg national objective, consistency with community development priorities and objectives of the township, prior experience with Cdbg and other grant programs, and prior experience in the type of project or activity being proposed. We will also look at the organization's administrative and financial capability to carry out the proposed project and the appropriateness of the design of the project and the delivery of a report approach. The final test is the compliance with Cdbg contract deadlines for expending of funds. This year we received 10 applications for funding. We have tonight with us, there were 3 requests for presentations. I'm not sure if Sharon Clark is going to be able to sign on because she had a prior appointment in Somerville. However, she did give me a presentation to read on her behalf, and I will read that into the record after the other applicants have spoken. That's it for me right now, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. It's now time to open to applicants for a public hearing on CDBG. Mr. Attorney, this is for applicants only or anyone who wishes to speak about CDBG?
No, I believe that this is for applicants only at this point in time. This is for them to make their presentations.
Okay, so
we have had, Ms. Mitchell, we have had the public hearing already. Is that correct?
Yes. Mr. Vasanelli, you had a
I'm sorry, I just
comment?
had a quick question for Ms. Mitchell. Just curious, is the amount that will be awarded, is that in any way related to your population, meaning the increase in population that we would be looking at any increase in funds, or is that not part of the formula?
The formula is based on the latest American Survey income amounts of the Lomond district, is Ward 4 and 5. So it's based on whatever incomes that's showing there, plus whatever the federal government decides should be awarded for CDBG. It's my understanding from the department in Newark that the president did ask for an increase in CDBG funds, and she was anticipating that all of our grantees would get more than we got last year, but that hadn't been determined at that point.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
You bet. So we will now open it. Do we have a motion to open to applicants?
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. And any discussion? All in favor of opening to applicants, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion is carried. We're open to applicants. I'll allow 5 minutes. No yielding of time, may only come up once. And Mr. McQueen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Anybody from the public or applicant from the public wishing to speak now, we ask you to use the chat function, raise hand feature, or *3 from your telephone. So any member from the public wishing to speak on their application, we ask you to use the chat function, raise hand feature, or *3 from your telephone.
So we had a couple of people letting us know.
Mr. Cummings, you are unmuted.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. And I don't have a camera. I apologize. But maybe that's okay. And good evening, everybody, Mr. Mayor and council members. Thank you so much. Can everybody hear me okay, I trust? Great.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. It's great to be here. This is my first time attending one of these meetings. My name is Tim Cummings. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at the Center for Great Expectations, which many of you probably are aware of. And we have been very fortunate to receive support from the CDBG grant with Ms. Mitchell's help. Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. A shout out to you as well there. Over the past several years, this has been a huge lift to our organization and the individuals that we serve. So we are coming at the application this year with a similar request to previous years. Our Katie's Place Child Development Center is always grossly underfunded, and we're asking for support to keep that operation afloat. It provides services, child development services, early relational health services to the young women and adult women that we serve in our residential programs. So there is one request in for support for that program. Additionally, we have received in the past and just recently installed, operational building related expenses that we are seeking assistance with. So just recently we installed some new flooring throughout various parts of our building. These buildings were built in 2008. They are home to 8 women in our adult program and 12 young women in our adolescent program and their babies. So when you think of not only the individuals living in the building, but the staff who are also in the building helping to take care of the building, the people coming in and out of the building, like all things, they get worn. So we had a recent upgrade to some of our flooring, which just made a huge impact on not only, most importantly, obviously the people living there, but also our staff, sort of just the morale and the general feeling within the building. It was a really great lift for our community. So unfortunately, there's more to do. And so we're back tonight asking for a little bit more along those lines as well. So Ms. Mitchell, do you need me to get into the specifics of the request, or is sort of that general look on everything enough for the purpose of this meeting?
I think the general is enough at this point. It will be posted on the website for people to get any more information they need there anyway.
I got you. I really appreciate it. So again, I just wanted to express my gratitude for the work that you all are doing, even just in the short amount of time that I've been on since 7. we have done a fundraiser amongst our staff community for the individuals in Ukraine. We're sending money to the IRC. We hold a vigil every Wednesday, working, offering staff in our community an opportunity to come together. I'd love to hear more about the parade. I'm going to reach out to you, Councilman Wright, and as well as Mr. Vornlocker regarding the cleanup. I'd love to find a way for our community to get involved in that. So I just really appreciate and wanted to thank all of you for the efforts, everything that you do for the township. It's just a really great place to work, and we're always grateful for your support.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Ally O'Brien, you are unmuted.
Hi, everybody. Can everyone hear me okay? I'm on headphones.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So hi, and just wanted to echo Tim from Great Expectations in expressing our appreciation for Franklin Township. You guys do a lot for the food bank. As many of you know, the Franklin Food Bank has been a longtime recipient of Cdbg grants. In the past, we have applied this year for the 14th year of our community farm Cdbg grant, as well as a facility grant. So there's separate applications. The farm one is a little bit more straightforward. This is the 14th year. The Franklin Food Bank has a local farmer partner. Throughout the COVID pandemic, we simplified the farm program to just be growing corn, and handled sort of the labor part because we were not able to have any volunteers throughout 2020 or 2021. And this year we wanted to make it a little bit more complicated and introduce some extra plants. So I bring that up for two reasons. One, definitely it's a consideration for the Cdbg grant, but also if any of you know, you have to ask Daddy, bud, go away. Sorry. If anyone knows any farmers who are giving away starter plants in April, just as a side note, we are looking for starter plants as well. And then as well, we're applying for a Cdbg facility grant. So as you may know, the Franklin Food Bank reopened our client choice market on March 14th, 2 years to the day that we were forced to pivot our program to a curbside model. The increased activity throughout the pandemic, plus the change to the mode of delivery in the program, effectively destroyed the market. Floors, walls, everything but the ceiling pretty much was destroyed. And all of those needed to be fixed before the market reopening, which hopefully you will all get a chance to see on Sunday. And then in addition to basic fixes to our client services area, we are also faced with the challenge of serving the same volume of need in a new program design, which could be slower. So we're not sure. We have a lot of work to do to sort of measure the program as it happens. But we're doing everything we can to address anything that might bring up by making technological upgrades to our computers and our hardware, and also supply upgrades by purchasing smaller shopping carts to encourage people to come more often, but shop quickly. And just as a quick explanation of what the new/old program is, Client Choice was launched in 2019 for the first time. It allowed our clients for the first time in 45 years to come into the food bank and select the food items that they wanted to have for their families. So it was a much more dignified way of providing food assistance in the emergency sense. And we are very, very happy to be getting back to that after 2 years of returning to a program that's a little bit more guided by USDA guidelines and what's available, and less by cultural familiarity with food and what clients need. So that is what we're asking for.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else any other applicants wishing to speak on this matter, we ask you to use the raise hand feature or *3 from your telephone. Ms. Mitchell, I do see Sharon Clark here. She has not indicated she'd like to speak.
I think you should probably unmute Sharon Clark. I'm sure she's here for this purpose.
Yes. Ms. Clark, you were
Hi,
unmuted.
everybody. Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Sharon.
Hi, thank you. You would think after all this time that I could be more tech savvy.
That's okay. We knew what you were here for.
Thank you. Thank you, Deborah and the council. I'll be brief. Thank you for supporting us for many years. The heart of what our agency does is we help people. We're often the first place people turn to. We're seeing a huge influx of clients, especially since Tropical Storm Ida happened. I had a lot of people that lost their housing. As you know, housing costs in our area are continuing to rise. Believe it or not, it's easier to put people into a purchase than it is to find a rental for them. And we are struggling and working with a lot of elected officials to address the problem. Even folks getting vouchers are having a terrible time finding things in the price range that is being set by the field representatives from Department of Community Affairs. So we're working on that. And the reason I'm talking is because we're looking for CDBG funds similar to what we used in previous years. We're seeking $6,314.17. Usually we strive to help about 86 people with that. I can tell you we've already depleted in 6 months' time all the funds from last round, and we not only served 86 people, but we actually served 100 people. So during this gap phase that we're in right now, I'll get funding from other sources like HUD to cover it. But I did write the grant. We anticipate serving at least 86, if not more. And we do all phases of counseling. It's pre-purchase, rental, foreclosure prevention, homeless, senior housing. So I just wanted to thank you for your past support, and we're hopeful that we'll get funded again because demand, we're already up. We ended 2021 43% higher than 2020, and already for just 2 months of 2022 through the end of February, we're 53% over last year. So the funding is critical for us. So I thank you for your consideration, and I thank you for thinking of us and your past support, and for all of you do. I know it's been a tough couple of years, and it just seems to be getting worse. I don't know.
Well, thank you for your presentation. Is there anyone else
Other
wishing to speak?
applicants wishing to speak at this time, we ask you to use the chat function, raise hand feature, or *3 from your telephone.
Nicole Greco Castillo, is that one, Deb?
No.
Okay. And Nicole just logged off, so maybe she was listening to us, Sharon.
I do not see anybody else indicating they would like to speak at this time, Mr. Mayor.
So do we have a motion to close public hearing?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion is carried. That ends the community block grant portion of the program. We're now on to item number 13, the 2022 Hamilton Street Special Improvement District Budget. Resolution 22-112. Read the calendar year 2022 Hamilton Street Special Improvement District Budget by title is presented to council for adoption. Do we have a motion to read the budget by title only?
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of reading by title? Oh, I'm sorry. It's a roll call.
Councilman Embarrasson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Onijaka,
Yes.
Councilmember Potosnik,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pruitt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Udine,
Yes.
Councilwoman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
It passes. So we'll now have a public hearing on the Hamilton Street Special Improvement District budget. Do we have a motion to open to the public?
So
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion is carried. We are now open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak about the Hamilton Street budget may do so. Same rules, 3 minutes of time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Anybody from the public wishing to speak on this? We ask that you use the chat function, raise hand feature, or star 3 from your telephone. Mr. Mayor, I do not see anybody indicating they would like to speak at this time.
I concur. Do you have a motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
Moved in and seconded. I still see no one. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion is carried. Public hearing is closed. Resolution 22-113. Adopt the calendar year 2022 Hamilton Street Special Improvement District budget as introduced is presented to the Township Council for adoption. Do we have a motion to introduce?
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. The resolution pretty much explains itself. There is no assessment this year. Anyone else have a comment? Madam Clerk?
Councilman Embarrasson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Onijaka,
Yes.
Councilmember Potosnik,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pruitt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Udine,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
We have no ordinances to introduce or to adopt on second reading. We do have ordinances on first reading. The first readings are to let the public know that in a short time, we will eventually have a public hearing and a vote on a specific items. We have two items, ordinance 4360-22, an ordinance of the Township of Franklin County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, authorizing the acceptance of sidewalk easements from Barrett Industrial Canyon NJ1W02 LLC to the Township of Franklin for premises known as Block 523.03, Lot 35.09. Catchy name. The foregoing ordinance is presented to the Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, and publication in accordance with law and public hearing and final adoption at a meeting of the Township Council to be held in person on April 12th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Do we have a motion to introduce?
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. I think it pretty much explains itself. Any other discussion?
Yes. Mr. Manager, could you please, for those that are unenlightened, could you please explain to them what we're trying to do here?
Sorry, what we're trying to do with an easement?
Yeah, for the sidewalks.
So in this particular application, which is, and I'm trying to remember, it's in the industrial area, it would allow, if in the event that sidewalks were required along the street frontage of this particular parcel, that they're granting an easement to the township so that there would be sufficient space to build them.
At whose cost?
There's no, this isn't that they're going to be built. This is just simply granting an easement to the town in the event that sidewalks were to be constructed there. It's not, this is just the easement. It has nothing to do with the actual installation of the sidewalk, just the granting of permission along that frontage of land that this particular applicant, I believe that probably went in front of the planning board. And that was a requirement that they grant that easement for sidewalks should they be installed. In this particular case, I don't believe that there are sidewalks in that particular area at this time. It's over in the industrial area of the township. Wiley Drive, it's the former location of John Wiley and Sons, the publisher. Corner of Wiley and Elizabeth.
Any other discussion? Madam Clerk.
Councilman Embarrasson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka,
Yes.
Councilmember Potasnik,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pruitt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Udine,
Yes.
Councilwoman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
On to ordinance 436122, ordinance to exceed the calendar year 2022 municipal budget appropriations limit and to establish a cap bank according to NJSA 40A 44-45.14. The foregoing ordinance is presented to the Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting and publication in accordance with law, and public hearing and final adoption at a meeting of the Township Council to be held on Tuesday, April 12th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Do we have a motion on the item?
So moved.
Moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. So I explain this every year, and every year I get it wrong, and either the manager or the attorney corrects me. Let's see how I do this year. So everyone in town who pays taxes knows about the 2% cap on the assessment on the levy. The amount to be raised by taxes.
Appropriations.
The okay. So there's a 2% cap on the appropriations. That's what I always get wrong. And to the state in their infinite wisdom to prevent towns from saying, oh, we better raise the appropriations, otherwise we won't be able to, if we get behind, we won't be able to do it in the future. They allow us to bank some of the increase for 3 years. So since we haven't raised the appropriations for 3 years, then we actually have 6% in the bank. And if we don't pass this, then we don't get any of it. So that's, I believe that's right now. Am I correct?
So sort of, kind of, sort of. So the state law limits the appropriations to a 2% cap. We do exceed zero on our appropriations. That just simply means that our appropriations go up, and they have. But the difference between the cap and the appropriations is allowed to be banked for 3 years, and every year the third year falls off and the new year takes its place. And as long as you don't exceed your 2% cap, you continue to have a bank of available increase should you need it to exceed the limit. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Mr. Manager, does that mean that at any given time, we will not ever have more than that maximum of that 6%?
We don't have, that's no, so what I'm saying to you is we have not, while our budget may have been flat as far as the amount to be raised by taxes, our appropriations have gone up. Our amount to be raised by taxes has not. So this is an appropriations cap, and so but as if we used it or we met that increase at 2%, what the law allows, then we would not have a bank amount for that year.
Gotcha. But theoretically, at any given time, a town can never have more than a 6%.
That's correct. Yes.
That's what I just want to make sure. Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Madam Clerk.
Councilman Embarrasson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka,
Yes.
Councilmember Potasnik,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pruitt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Udine,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
It passes. We are on to the consent agenda. Items A through U as listed in the consent agenda portion of this meeting are presented to Township Council for adoption. Do we have a motion on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Anyone would like to pull an item for either discussion or a separate vote?
I just have one question. In the item A with the fireworks display at the palace, the reports and the salutes, those are the bangs, right? I'm not as familiar with those terms.
So the loud noise is the salute. Yeah.
They're not allowed to have those.
That's good. We require what are called quiet fireworks. Yes.
Perfect.
Anyone else? Madam Clerk?
Councilman Embarrasson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Onijaka,
Yes.
Councilmember Potasnik,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pruitt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Udine,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Resolutions to be voted on separately. I ask that this be put on separately so as to emphasize it, because it is very important. Resolution 22-115, Franklin Township's solidarity with the people of Ukraine. I present this to the Township Council for adoption. Do we have a motion on this item?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? So I think it bears emphasis. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read some excerpts. Whereas the unprovoked, unjustified, and illegal invasion of the sovereign nation of Ukraine by Russia, under the direction of President Vladimir Putin, has been condemned by the entire world, including the people of the Township of Franklin and the Township Council. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and Township Council of the Township of Franklin and Somerset, New Jersey, that we declare solidarity with the people of Ukraine and our Ukrainian brothers and sisters here in the United States. It's, as you can see, I'm quite moved by this. This is actually in the area of my ancestry. I guess I've said enough. Any other discussion? Madam Clerk?
Councilman Embarrasson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Onijaka,
Yes.
Councilmember Potasnik,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pruitt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Udine,
Yes.
Councilwoman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman, I'm sorry, Councilman Wright.
Yes.
On to old business. Anyone have nominations for boards, committees, and commissions? Hearing none, there is no executive session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, say no. Motion is carried. We are adjourned. Be well, Franklin.